What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And breaking news. First off, before we even get started, let me clarify. You're going to see that this happened in Frankfurt, Germany. But I'm going to explain by the end of this video how it's relevant to you if you hold GameStop or GME. Now, Morgan Stanley was raided, the Frankfurt office, for tax fraud investigations. Okay. Now, the best way to understand this article is to start from the bottom and work our way up. You'll understand in just a moment. Watch this. All right. Towards the middle of the article, we see the name of the scam that they were using. They named it the CumX, which I'm sure there's an innuendo in there somewhere. But what happened was this trading strategy that they were using stole at least 10 billion euros or 10.5 billion American dollars of government revenue. Now, they're going to explain how they did that in just a moment and what caused the raid. We scroll down to the end of the article, and then we're going to come over here. Morgan Stanley has been raided for tax fraud. Here's how it happened. In the first indictment issued by Cologne, that's the prosecutors, in the probe the same year, the bank, which is Morgan Stanley, is mentioned as a possible lender of shares needed to do the trades. Okay, so we come over here and we're going to put that, and we put it on a little picture graph here. Morgan Stanley is mentioned as a possible lender of shares needed to do the trades that caused the CumX scandal. Okay, they're mentioned as a possible, here's the key, lender of shares needed to do the trades. All right, we go to the next paragraph up, and we see Morgan Stanley next to a long list of other global investment banks mentioned as an alleged short sellers in the deals in the search warrant by Cologne prosecutors. All right, they raided Deutsche Bank in 2019, and they started getting a little more information. Here they are, but they said Morgan Stanley is next to a long list of other global banks mentioned in an alleged short selling scheme called CumX. All right, short selling scheme. They were mentioned as possible lenders in that scheme, so they were lending out shares for people to short. So what brought FBI and the IRS down on Deutsche Bank and Morgan Stanley right now? All right, we see it right here. The CumX scandal. It's a trading strategy that siphoned off at least 10 billion euros or 10.5 billion American dollars in government revenue. All right. Here's what happened. Named for the Latin term and without the deals took advantage of German tax laws that seem to allow multiple investors to claim refunds where? On their taxes. On a tax of dividends that was paid only once. All right, say it again. Multiple investors claimed the refunds for a tax on dividends that should have only been paid once. All right, so let me get up here. That's enough information to interpret what's going on. So here's what's going on. Morgan Stanley is accused of lending shares that they did not have so that people could short the company. And they received the interest from it, of course, and they got the collateral package, of course, which we've talked about before. I'll put the collateral in the cards. Y'all watch that video and see how the collaterals work. But they give collateral to Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley gives them shares that they, or says they give them shares that they don't have. And now they use their collateral. So it's so twisted, people. So let me break it down for you and make it to where we can understand what's going on here. Let's use AMC because I know the share count. I don't know the share count of GME. But if you're in GME, you can do the same thing. But if AMC was to give a $2 dividend, they would give that dividend to 516 million and whatever other few there is. But they would all get $2 for every share they held. Now, what will happen is everybody that gets that $2 a share has to report it on their taxes. All right, you have to report that income. There's special tax breaks and benefits to help you, but you have to report that $2 dividend. You have to report that 7-share split to the IRS as income. But anyway, the point is this. What happened was the company paid out the 516 million shares. Morgan Stanley had loaned out more than that, and apparently Deutsche Bank, and they said the list is long, of people who were loaning shares out that they did not have. And what happened is it went to the short seller. The short seller sold it on the market. Then when the retail person gets their hands on it, sells it for a profit or whatever the case may be, it's recorded. And when you have 516 million people that have sold, they're going to want to know, well, what's all this tax breaks y'all are hollering about? Over here, you got 2 more billion people hollering they need tax breaks. And they're not going to give tax breaks, people. They need this revenue. So, to make it simple, that's all there is to it. When GME issues their dividend and people have to claim that dividend on their taxes, it's going to reveal how many people have shares of GME or how many shares of GME there are according to the dividend. Now, Morgan Stanley paid out of pocket. They wanted to cover this shit up, so they were willing to go ahead and just pay the dividend to the shareholders to cover up the fact that they had sold them shares. But when those people reported it on their taxes, the red flag went off at the IRS, and here we are. Their offices are being raided because they want to know how you loaning shares you ain't got, motherfucker. Simple as that.
Dividends on them.
How'd you pay dividends on stocks that didn't exist? That's my angel over here. She keeps me on track. But anyway, there you go, people. Morgan Stanley, somebody you think couldn't be touched, has been touched by the IRS. It's coming to America. Just as soon as people start filing their fucking taxes, and more people that's got GME shares that shouldn't. What? Love y'all. Be blessed.